afternoon, Nkose Talk Shows. Slumsa here at Nkose Talk Shows. Find your own voice. A lady from within. Sorry, guys, I'm a little bit late. I was doing an interview before I came on, but I'm here now. So I'm on my own as well today. And please pray for Carol Ann. She is still in hospital, and she's actually looks like God is doing his work. So she's really has improved. So please do pray for her. And she's a very, very strong woman. And she wasn't, when we were talking to her before, she was like, I'm not in a good place. But now she's actually saying that she is feeling better. But it's a long way for us to get there. But God, remember, God can actually do the work. Like 1 year, he can make 1 year to 1 second. So let's just keep praying and trust that she will get better. So the topic today is, should we end a relationship if the physical attraction dies? So welcome to this disgusting topic. On this topic, should we end a relationship if the physical attraction dies? In this thought provoking the video, I'm going to explore the significance of emotional connection in a relationship and connection in relationship and challenges, the notion that physical attraction alone should determine the fate of a partnership. So if you guys go back to the videos that I always create a video and I always talk about what's on the inside of a person. It is greater than what's on the outside, because what happens is if a relationship is created based on physical attraction only, it will die. Physical attraction changes all the time. So that means the day your queen changes her body, because the body does not stay the same, the physical being changes all the time. Like if I look at myself, how I was when I was 20 and how I am now, I'm different. Things are different. So that means things do change. Our attractions do change. So it's very, very important when you enter. If you guys go back to the video, it's very, very important. Sorry about that. It's very, very important to actually, when you enter a relationship, to make sure that we actually connect with our spouse properly, because when we do connect with our spouse properly, it helps us to, I know physical attraction is something that comes with, it's a bonus when you have it all. It's a bonus. But sometimes what's on the inside of a person is greater than what's on the outside of a person. So mostly for women and men, when you meet somebody, it's very, very important not to meet somebody to get attracted to somebody because of their height or because of their looks. If there's somebody who goes to the gym 7 days a week, and be attracted to their muscles, because when they're not able to go to the gym, so you won't be able to look at that person in the same way you did the first time. So it's very, very important to connect with their inner being, to wanting to be with somebody because of who they are on the inside. And then on the outside is a bonus that God gives us. The looks is something that it comes with everything. Like myself, I used to play football before, so when I left football, I still look the same anyway, I've not changed. But if you look at my pictures, I think my pictures have changed. I think my physical attraction, I think it has changed. So, but how I look, I'm still wearing the same dress size. I'm still I still do exercises, but what I'm trying to say to you is very, very important when you enter a relationship, not to look at the looks. Sometimes there are people that they dedicate their lives for looking good, and they do exercises, they eat health, and then they let it themselves go. So that's another story. That is a different story. When somebody let themselves go because they can't be bothered, that could be a different story. That if a relationship dies, because if somebody stops looking after themselves, a woman who looks after themselves, guys, even if you walk into the house and they are walking on their pajamas, if they look after themselves, or a guy who looks after himself, even if you walk into the house, he is on pajamas, you still want to be with that person. But somebody who doesn't look after themselves physically, and they don't really want to take good care of themselves, it's a different story. So we are, in that way, we're going to cover that as well, because if you look after yourself, if you physically, your outlook changes, or how you look after yourself, it changes. So if it is away, it will cause a dilemma, and that may cause the couple to face challenges in their relationship. We could end a relationship. So that's why it's very, very important to maintain our looks. So what I'm saying is, when you get somebody, you date somebody because you want them because of their looks, because you want to hold their hands and they look good, but the physical attraction will change. But if it changes because of the choices that you made from the beginning, that I'm dating this person because I like the way they look, and then as they get older, and then things will change. But if if somebody that is neglecting themselves, that part is understandable. Women, we got to look good for our men. We've got to take good care of ourselves. When we go to bed, we got to have a shower, we got to have a bath, so that when a man is sleeping next to us, we smell nice. Men, we got to look good for our women. When you go have a shower, before you go to bed, a shower or bath, whatever that feels good for you, just look good for yourself. So that part is understandable. When somebody physically, the attraction, it does not look the same because they let themselves go, they cannot be bothered. So lazy, they're being lazy. That part is understandable. If you say, I'm leaving my spouse because they're no longer looking after themselves, that part I can understand. But if you are actually dating somebody because they're looking good, and then later they're not looking good anymore, and you just feel that, you know what, I don't want to date that person anymore because the attraction is now basics. It's no longer first class, it's now basics. So the truth is, relationships thrive on more than just physical chemistry. There's so much involved in a relationship. So much. I can give you the list. So you have to understand that emotional connection is the critical component of how a relationship is able to move forward. That's why the communication and the connection is very, very important. Because if physically attraction dies out and there is no connection, but if physically connection dies out and there is still a connection, these two people are still connected, you'll be able to help your spouse to actually get back on track physically. Like in this house, and we do exercises. We used to have a gym at home, but we don't, because during lockdown we had to downsize. We don't have a gym anymore. So we used to have a gym where we'll go to the gym, the children, and we'll just go to the gym, and I'll just go to the gym whenever I want. So motivate ourselves, like go to the gym as a family and then come out as a family. Normally my youngest one was in charge at that time, but now the gym is been stored somewhere until we decide to actually I think if anyone that watched my challenge, confident challenge, I said I thought that I made a mistake, so I need to restore my children's home and give them their home back. So that's what I'm working on, giving them their home back by downsizing. We thought we were doing the right thing, but they are not happy, they're miserable. So by God's grace, everything will be restored. So going back to the topic, physically attraction is very, very important. And also physically and emotionally, those people, they play vital. But if physically, if somebody changes, the body changes because they're getting older, and you can understand, like, I'm getting older with my man. So to me, I'm not attracted to his body. I'm attracted to what's on the inside of that person. And if that was on the inside of a person, it has not changed. The connection is still the same. And physically attraction to me, I'm not sure whether that's the person that I am. The guy still looks after himself. I look after myself. So to me, I don't see any different. I just see myself that we are growing together. Each and every single day, we are getting older and we're not getting younger. So I see that I'm embracing my age. I'm embracing my physically, emotionally. I'm connecting with that person and I'm enjoying it. So it's very, very important when you are dating somebody to actually make sure that emotionally you are equally connected. It is very, very important. It's about truly getting to know each other. Because when you truly get to know each other and also understanding one's the other's fears and their dreams, their values, their beliefs, and connecting to their beliefs and just trying to understand why this person believes the things that they believe and be curious about them because it's their world. When you get to know their world, Tony Robbins talks more about the world, understand, enter somebody's world. And for me, it's all about the spirit, enter the spirit of love, because everything has a voice. The clothes that we wear, they have a voice. The food that we eat have a voice. When I'm saying have a voice, if we eat unhealthy food, the voice of unhealthy food is sickness. So whatever we do in life speaks, it has a voice. That's why Bob Proctor, before I couldn't understand it when he was saying the words that we speak become things. So everything that we speak in the spirit realm and in the physically, it becomes things in the spirit realm. It becomes things in the spirit realm, which is our subconscious mind. So our subconscious mind will dictate everything that we do, our thoughts, our everything. So it's very, very important when you meet somebody to actually stay connected to that person. Be curious about getting to know that person. Don't disconnect yourself from that person. Get to know their world. What makes them believe the things that they believe? What makes them the person that they are? Like I'm here at Ngozi Talk Shows. I have people that they follow me every day and I follow them every day. If I go on their social media, if I don't see their post anymore, like if I go on LinkedIn, there are people that I like their post. If I don't see their post, it's like they're part of my family. I start wondering, are they okay? And I start look for them. Honestly, I start look for them even on Facebook. If I like somebody's post all the time, they post their post, and then all of a sudden they disappear. I'm like, I don't see this person anymore. So I message them and say, are you okay? Because I don't see your post anymore. So the connection in a relationship is like that. When you connect with somebody, it has to be unique. It has to be real. When you meet somebody, we don't meet people because we date somebody because they are good looking. You know, good looking, I love this guy. He's a good looking guy. What else do you like about them? Tell me more. So for me, as a love humanist, I need more. If somebody says, Nomsa, I need a good-looking woman, tell me more, give me more. How? The looks, what else? Give me more. Because the love goes beyond the looks. The attraction, it goes beyond everything. So you may find like a woman who is good looking, but then the words that comes out of their mouth, they're not right. So you need a woman that you can connect with, a woman that can get you. You need a man that you can connect with, a man that you can connect with properly. So that's what relationship is about. That's why it's very, very important when we actually start in this dating, focus on what's on the inside of a person, not the physical. The physical attraction is a bonus, is beautiful. But for me, it's like if you can tell me, so my first relationship ended because I focused on my looks. I would go to work and get home, make sure that I bath, make sure I'm looking good, make sure I put makeup. It didn't work. But my relationship still ended because I didn't work on my inner being and my well-being, just taking good care of myself so I can learn the skills to love my man unconditional. So I didn't do all those things because I didn't have the knowledge at the time. I thought, like everybody else, other people, maybe 60% or 80% of people in this world, they believe that as a woman or man, they believe that you have to work on your outer world in order to find a man, or in order to find a woman. You need to work on both sides. Work on your outer world and work on your inner world. For me, it was more like working on my outer world because I thought, you know what? I have a nice body. Who will reject this? So I'm going to work on this, make sure that I look good, to make sure that when I go out, I look good, to make sure when I'm at home, I look good for my man. But inside, I was broken. I didn't know anything. And when my relationship fell apart, I find myself, I'm praying to God. I'm like binding and casting out and binding and casting out. And I'm like so angry. Why would this God give me this man? That in the end, I work so hard. And then in the end, finding this guy. And now my relationship is ended. And it was like, whoa, Noms. The Holy Spirit was like, no, listen, Noms. You asked me, go back to when you needed a man. You asked me, you prayed, you said, God, give me a good man. You gave me the list and I connected you with that man. But what did you do after? And that was the truth, actually. I didn't do anything. I didn't have the skills. I just isn't like I'll go to work. I didn't meditate. I didn't do anything. I didn't work on my inner world. I just focused on my goals, reaching goals, focus on going into my football pitch, winning the game, and going home, maybe going after, I don't drink, going to the pub with everybody else and celebrating our wins, or going to work and I just focused on the goals, the winning, reaching, winning. And that's all I did. And I didn't look to take good care of myself. I worked more on reaching my dreams where I needed to be. And I did succeed. But at the time, relationship-wise, I was miserable because I didn't have the skills. I didn't invest on working on myself. So it's very, very important that way. So when somebody tells me about physically, I know it doesn't work, because I used that. I used to spend like 2 hours getting dressed, putting makeup, making sure that my high heels matched my handbag, made sure that my dress matched my high heels, everything it matched, like you see, everything. But it didn't work still. But now I spend time working on my inner being. I spend time waiting on my outer world and making sure that I'm happy inside. And when I'm happy inside, I'm able to share my love with somebody else. But if physically, if you date somebody and physically they start changing, it doesn't matter if you really, your relationship is connected inside, because if you're connected to that person, you get to know the person, your inner world, and then you'll be able to actually build that relationship with the foundation. It doesn't matter, it cannot be broken. And nurturing emotionally intimacy can reignite the spark and rekindle the flame. If you are somebody like you physically, and the attraction has to be there. There are some people, when they meet each other, like when I met my spouse, I asked questions. What did you like about me? I was like, no, so you're real. And for me to be that person, to show him the real me, I wasn't always like that. Sometimes the guys that met me before him, I'll pretend to be something that I'm not, because I'm trying to fit in. I'm trying to make the guy like me. But I couldn't understand if I date somebody, or if I go on a date with somebody, if I don't connect with somebody properly, I couldn't understand why would somebody reject this beautiful person. I couldn't understand. But until I came to understand that not everybody that we meet in our path, we're meant to date them. We are not. We have specific people that we are attracted to, and there are specific people that we meet that will be attracted to us. And also, God knows our journey, where we've been. He wouldn't want you to just meet up with somebody who is horrible or not treat you well. He knows where we've been. He knows what our want. He knows our desires. So even us, within our well-being, our inner being, we know what we want. We know our desires. We know the things that makes us happy. So it is very, very, very important. Like when you meet a woman, don't take them for granted. Stay connected to that woman. When you meet a man, stay connected to them, because what's on the inside of that person is greater than what's on the outside. So we may find and go out and find somebody who looks better than what we have. But what do we have if it's a gold? So I rather keep my gold than going out and date somebody just because they're good looking and then they're not going to treat me well. So I wouldn't do that. So I'll prefer to stay with my gold. And also communication. When you communicate openly with your spouse is very, very important. It just helps your feelings, to connect with your feelings, talk about your feelings, your desires. What do you desire in life? Remember, relationship are a journey that requires effort from both sides. So you have to understand this. Sometimes I do the dance about the rhythm of life. So the reason why I do the dance about the rhythm of life is we've got to understand where the rhythm of life, where is life taking us? When you date somebody, that person has a vision. You have a vision. Physically, attraction has nothing to do with the vision. So when we connect with somebody, we don't connect physically. Obviously, if I'm short, I'm not going to date. If a woman is tall, they're not going to date somebody who's short. That will look ridiculous. So they need to make sure that they date somebody that is taller than them. So there are things that we cannot overlook when we are selecting our spouse, but there are things that are not important, like the eyes, the color of the eyes of a person, or the eyes. I like a woman with blue eyes, or I like a woman with brown, or I don't like women with blue eyes. Why is making not like a woman with blue eyes? Because those are like that is something that somebody is born with. So it may be sometimes they'll say I prefer blonde hair. Hair changes, people color their hair, they don't stay with their original hair most of the time. So that's why it's very, very important to actually connect with the real person, meet them. The day I changed my mind that I'm not going to put on no personality, I'm not going to pretend to be something that I'm not, it was the day where I met myself. It was the day when I met myself. It was the day where I came to understand that the things that I actually thought were important in a relationship, they are not important. I spent time making sure that I spend 3 hours or 2 hours getting dressed, making sure like if I'm going to meet my man, I will spend those hours. And believe me, I have a shower in the morning, I have a shower in the evening, but I will still get 2 hours. Honestly, it will still take me 2 hours because I believed that if I make an effort, 2 hours getting dressed and 2 hours doing all those things, but now I've not changed how I look when the dress is like when I'm wearing clothes or looking after myself or going out. Nothing has changed, but I spend 45 minutes. Give me 45 minutes to get dressed. I get dressed. I will just do whatever I need to do. I'll finish everything on time. In 45 minutes, I give myself 45 minutes as a woman to make sure that I look good on the inside and on the outside. And when I step outside, I don't worry about stepping in the mud. What I worry about is the person that is next to me. Are they okay? Are they well? That's my worry now. Everything else, I look after myself because I have to look after myself. I've got to be a good example for my children. I've got to be a good example for our generation. Looking good is, you still need to look good in a relationship. You still need to make an effort, but don't spend 2 hours getting dressed. That was a bit out of control, honestly. I spend in the morning, I get up in the morning, God knows what I did in the bath. I can't tell you. In the evening, I come back before bedtime, I do the same thing, but I don't do that anymore. So in the evening, I just have my bath. So I love my bath in the evening when I go running, and then I have a cold water. I just pour myself. I have a normal bath with my hot water, and then after I have my cold, just before I get out of the bath, I just have to shower my body with cold water. So, because it makes me feel good. And when I go to sleep, I sleep so beautiful. So those are the things about the attraction. It comes from the connection. We have to make sure that we are connected to our spouse very, very properly. Enter the spirit of love and connect with somebody. And you have to understand the foundation of the attraction of foundation is very, very, very important. And understanding the stages of attraction can impact a relationship, explore the interplay of the physically, emotionally, intellectually, and chemistry. So intellectual chemistry is very, very important to that relationship. the physical attraction of a person can vary from person to person. So it's very, very important to actually not to actually compare ourselves with other people. Number one, the stages of, there are two stages, when two stages of individual of the first time when they meet, they feel strong physically, they pull towards each other. But that people sometimes they criticize. And then sometimes there's this excitement and a curiosity when people meet each other, that is physically. And what stops you doing that as well? Like when you meet somebody, why do you stop doing it? Why do people stop doing it? Like physically cannot grab your spouse, you cannot hold them anymore. And sometimes that's why, like, sometimes people get lost in relationship, and you find somebody like they're like, I don't know, you've changed. Some people, they change for better, but some people change for boring, because they like, if I'm in a relationship, why do I bother myself? Why do I still have to hold your hands? Why do I still have to do this? Why do I still have to? You still have to do those things. And also, when you do those things, some of the stages, they are intense feelings of desire, launching a strong focus on the physical aspects of the other person. It can be accompanied by butterflies in the stomach and heightened sense of anticipation. Sometimes that is the feeling of, sometimes it can be a feeling of connection. When somebody touches you, you just feel so alive. And when you speak to them, you feel so alive. So it's very, very important to pave the way, your path through personal development and emotional connection development as well. Connect with your spouse, get to know your spouse very well into a deeper level, and also understand their want, their desires, get to know all those things, and comfort them. Have the ability to actually comfort them if they need comfort, and share personal stories, build trust, intimacy. And when you do that, it actually creates a strong bond between the two people. And once your spouse, they feel safe, don't be somebody who enter a relationship, and you enter a relationship, when you enter to it, you're like, okay, this is my best friend. This person makes me smile. They when I speak to them, they understand me. But then as the relationship goes by, gets, you grow with each other, and then the other person changes. They don't want to communicate anymore, or they don't want to spend time with the other person. That can actually destroy the relationship. So a relationship requires work. Physically, it requires you to work. It does not require somebody to say, oh, there's no break when it comes to relationship. You still have to make an effort. You still have to do the things when you begin the relationship. Those are the things that you still have to do. And nothing changes. You still have to just do things. And sometimes the fights, they changes everything. There are some people who met each other then, and they were connected, and now when you speak to them, they can't stand each other. They're like, I can't stand him. But why are you with him if you cannot stand your guy? So those are the things that shows that there is a problem in a relationship. Like I said, everything has a voice. So what voice is in your relationship? So you have to work that out. what voice that is in your relationship, and work on it. There's evolution of attraction as well. It means that you have to look at the progression of a physical attraction over time, identify external factors that may influence attraction, which as individual things may vary. As a people are individual, they're different. And also you have to discuss with your spouse the roles that you guys have to play. In relationships are different in order to sustain that attraction with the two of you. The relationship as the individual are going to be different. Couples don't just like twins. They're not like twins where a relationship is the same. So the impact, understand the impact of communication is very, very important as well. And also communicate honest about the attraction in a relationship. If you feel that there is part of you, or you feel like you're no longer attracted anymore, so you can talk about your feelings. You are allowed to feel the way you feel, but you have to communicate openly. I don't know what's in my eyes. You have to communicate that openly with your spouse, whatever you are feeling, because not everyone we have to feel like happy all the time, or we have to feel. Sometimes there are times where we might feel we don't feel good about ourselves. So for me, I don't have that time not to feel good about myself. And the reason why I don't have that time is I came to understand that my well-being is very, very important. And I've come to understand that life is precious, really, really precious. I have lost so many people in my life. I don't have my father anymore. I don't have my grandparents anymore. I've lost my step-parents. During the pandemic, I've lost people that I love, and I don't have that time not to appreciate my body or not to appreciate myself. I don't have that time not to value the person that I am anymore. So I value myself more than I did before, because I've realized that in this life we come to live, time is precious. We don't get we don't get yesterday, but we will get tomorrow. So I need to make sure that the today is better than tomorrow. And then the tomorrow, I need to make sure that tomorrow is better than the today. So that's how I live my life now. I don't live my life where I look at myself and I'm like, oh, wow, I don't like the way I look. If I feel like I've put on weight, there's only one option: go and do exercises. That's how I see it. So I came to an understanding where I need to appreciate my life. I need to appreciate myself. So I really don't have the time to think about less about myself. So, but not everyone is as confident as I feel about myself. To me, it's not about confidence. It's now the gratitude. Life, my breathing is more important. Life is precious to me. When I look at my spouse, I'm so grateful that he's alive. When I look at my children, I'm so grateful that they are alive. So that's all. That's my gratitude. So I don't really have time to say, you don't look too good, go and do this. All I know is if I feel that somebody or my spouse, they are struggling with something, I got to help them out. I got to get through to them. But if I can't get through to them, this is where God comes in. So I design my life how I want, but not in an evil way, in a beautiful, beautiful way. If I look at my spouse and see that they are struggling with something, I go to God and say, God, this person is struggling with this. This is the person, you know, the person who they desire to become. You know who they want to be. You know what's in their heart. I don't know what's in their heart. Enter their heart. Help them to redesign the person that they want to become. I've got no time to go yep. I did that before. It does not get you anywhere. The talking, the sitting down, honey, we've got to talk. This is something that I don't like this. I don't do that anymore. I used to do that. But the day I find out that actually God works, I just go to God. Even with myself, if there is something that I struggle with, I go to God and I say, help me to unleash the person that I am supposed to be. And I will explain my feelings. My feelings has to be real. When I'm explaining to God, it has to be real. That is what I'm feeling. And I ask God to help me to become the person that I am supposed to be. God is not going to do the work. He's going to do the work. And some of the work, it might need me to connect with the certain people. That's where he comes in. I need to take action. So he will connect me with people that are going to help me. Maybe there is certain part of my life that is not good. Then he will help me to connect with those people that can uplift my life and raise me to become the person. That's how God works. If my spouse, they are struggling, or if I see physically they are struggling, I just go to God and design. I ask that person first, what do you desire the most in your life? Once they tell me what they desire, I write it down. And then I go to God. But if I feel that I can't ask the person, I go to God and say, I don't know what's in their heart, but you know what's in their heart. May your power take over and guide them through what they need to do in order to get to where they need to be. So he does the work for me. I don't have to do the talking. Before, I would just sit there and worry. I do the talking, the stress. I don't do that stress anymore. I meditate for somebody in the Word of God. I pray for them. And if I ask God to take control of that battle, because when somebody physically, they're not where they want to be, it's a battle for them. So to me, my job is to say, God, I hand over this battle for this person. Please take control. And the battle of the person, God knows their want, their desires. And then they will start doing the things that they love. That's why people say, like, when you listen to Bob Proctor, is like words become things. Before, I couldn't understand it. When somebody says words become things, I couldn't understand what they say, what they're saying, until I just followed the other, my father in the Lord, which is Dr. Olukoya, is actually very, very good. Shanda follows Dr. Olukoya. These billionaires, they follow my general overseer. He's an amazing man. How he teaches how the spirit world works, how the physical works, how the words, when what we desire, when we don't do the things that we desire, how we spend time in yipping with people instead of just go to prayer, speak to God, or go to the universe if you don't believe in God, because God created the earth. The earth is God. The universe is God. So if you are, it's like if your life is not going well, this is the trick that is so beautiful. Let's say the business is not going well. You just go outside your office, take the sand, that is the earth. You're communicating with the earth. It's in the scripture in the Bible. So you can read the scriptures of how to use the sand, and you speak to the sand. Sand, earth, you are God. God created you. Don't turn against me. You're telling the earth not to turn against you. You're telling the earth to work on your behalf. Like when you don't feel good about yourself, you want because when you don't feel good, that means sometimes we don't feel good, maybe we're not well or anything. So you want the other to be on your side. So you got to know how to communicate. You got to know how to communicate to the universe. If you feel that there is no attraction, so where is the attraction going? Why do you feel that way? Sometimes it could be, sometimes we want things that we can't have in life. So that's when you can ask God, show me my way. Because if you, before, my solution would be, if the relationship is not working, I'm out. I don't want to be in this relationship because it doesn't serve me anymore. But then I find out that actually is sometimes when things are not working, I have to check on me first. So I check on me first. If I feel that, wow, Nomsa, she's fine, I'm fine, there's nothing wrong, that's when I have to pray for this other person and say, God, you know their heart. There are some people who actually control other people. We do not do that. Our job is to love others because our words can control the other person. So we speak the words of building somebody, lifting somebody. So when I go to God, for me, it's not God, I want this person to be. No. I say to God, you know this person, you know, you knew them before they were in their mother's womb. You knew they were going to be born. But who are they supposed to be? Help them to become that. Help this person to become the person that you've created them to become. So I just keep praying. If I have to fast, I will fast for that person. If I have to sing a song, the song of praise for them, I will sing a song for them. In that way, few days later, they change. And I'm not surprised because I know he's done the work. I do that with my children. My children tells me that they want to the results for the education or school that they want. I do the work. You just have to, in the house, my family just have to tell me what they desire. And then I will just make sure that I just pray about it. It's not an easy thing. It's not an easy journey. It's not an easy character. It's a character that you have to build yourself. It takes step by step. So once you build the character, it takes step by step, and you'll be able to understand the role of physical and the role of the intimacy, what the role of communication, the role of attraction, understanding how intimacy evolved and changes within long-term relationship. Things are not going to be the same in a long-term relationship. So you have to understand and have the strategy to maintain a healthy and satisfying physical connection, and assessing the overall relationship together with your spouse. If you are happy, and compatibility as well is very, very important, and understanding that intimacy plays a crucial role in a relationship as it goes beyond the physical attraction. It involves a deeper emotions and connection between you and your spouse. So understand that understanding all those things, it can foster a stronger bond between the two people. So it's very, very important when you understand what relationships actually is about. And the role of a kissing, like sometimes you find people, they're like, I have sex like this. They'll tell you that they have sex 7 days a week. And not 7 days a week, they will be like, I work really hard. You know, when I come home, I need to make sure that I get rid of my stress through sex, honey. No, that's not what sex is about. Sex is about the two people, they connect to each other. enjoying making a connection between those two people. So if you are somebody who does 7-day sex, and then if somebody has sex for 2 days a week, and they mean what they do, they take time in that project, and this person that has sex 7 days a week, and they're like, let's have it, honey, gone. They're just doing it for the sake of doing it, and there is no connection. And so you can see where I come from. But if you take your time to build that connection, and to do the things and connect with your spouse and enjoy every moment, even when you kiss your spouse, like everyday kiss, it has to be real, not this sloppy kiss for the sake of kissing my honey. I am just gonna kiss them because it's a tradition. Some people kiss because it's a tradition to kiss your spouse every day. No, we kiss each other because we love each other, and I'm gonna take my time. When my spouse, they come home, even if they left their socks on the floor, I'm not gonna tell them off. I'm just gonna give them honey, a kiss, honey, and I'm just gonna be happy that they're home. So those things that people take for granted is very, very important. If you are in a relationship, it's very, very important to value your relationship, to value your spouse and value yourself the most. Because in order for you to actually love your spouse, you have to value yourself. Once you value yourself, you are able to share your love with somebody else gracefully, beautifully. So those are the things that are very, very important when it comes to the physically dealing with the physical attraction problems, because when you are attracted to somebody, you just want to be happy. You want to keep that attraction. You want to keep it alive. Like as I said before, everything has a voice. A relationship has a voice. The clothes that we wear, the reason why I realize that everything we do has a voice. It's like before I actually understood who I was, I will go out. And when I go out, I will wear like dresses where my boobies are out, because to me, at the time, I understood that it was fashion. It is beautiful. That's how I'm going to attract the guys. But what I didn't realize was when the guy sees my boobies, their ding ding goes up, and then they want to have sex as soon as they see my boobies. So then I'm attracting the wrong guys. So until I got it in my head, so it started working. Now when I go out, I'm still looking good, but my boobies are inside. You will never see my boobs out. But before, I didn't get it. I would just show off my boobies because I was like, I've got big boobies. So I got to take them out so somebody can just actually, and then I'll be attracted to guys, and I'll be attracted to the wrong guys. But now I don't do those things anymore. I just keep my body. I dress my body beautifully. I love clothes. My mom, she's a fashion designer, so I love clothes. And so everything has a voice. So the voice that I was giving out before I understood that everything has a voice, it was like I didn't care about my body. I didn't care about my well-being. So I'm just going to attract every guy that comes my way. And even if they were not attracted to me, they will be attracted to my body, because when you have a nice body, men wants to touch a woman with a nice body. They wants to touch a woman who is attractive, who is kind, and kindness is attractive, comes from the inside. So I didn't get all those things that was on the inside of a person is better than how they look. But now I do understand. When I meet a guy, the first thing I know is they're not interested about a guy with a vision, a guy who knows exactly what they want. The first thing they want to know when I speak to them, when I'm communicating with them, is can I actually take this woman to my mom, introduce her to my mom, and will she be able to, my family, will they be able to like her? Those are the things that good guys look for, because to them, or this person, they look for things for a long time. Like if I was to be with this person, come to goals, come to dreams, the vision, are we on the same page? Will we be able to be on the same page with this person? Will they be able to mentor me, support me? So those are the things, too many things that men go deep and women go deep and look for. And for women, they want to know, what vision do you have for me? A woman is already independent. They will have their own vision, but they just want a man with a vision that is going to align with their vision. So all those things, when you go 7 days to the gym, it comes with something. My man is a very, very good looking guy. When as normally people say, is David Beckham's thing copycat? But to me, when I met the guy sweat. I didn't care about how he looks. All I needed was, will I actually be able to date this guy? Will I be able to communicate with this guy? Will I be able to have a long term with this guy? Those I was interested. His looks, he came after. I evaluated his looks after. I didn't actually evaluate his looks. It was just God's gift that connected me with him. But to be honest with you, I was in an age where I was in a place where I didn't care how you look. You look, what car you drive, I didn't care. If you drive a nice car, you don't have a vision for me, you're a selfish man, why would I want to date you? If you're earning more money, your wealth, but you're selfish, why would I want to date you? I don't want to date you for money where I'm just going to end up in the end, I'm going to be holding your credit cards and I'm be miserable. I don't want to do that. I want to be happy. I want to go all in. So if you're a man and you have it all, make sure you find a coach to get rid of a selfishness. It's so easy if you are single and you are a very nice guy, caring and loving, but the only problem is selecting the woman that is similar to your traits. That is where it's difficult, because then you have to have a mindset of a matchmaker where you're going to pick and choose and say, you know what? I don't want to date this guy. I don't want to date this woman. So for me, I was in that place where if I meet a guy, I don't care whether you drive a Lamborghini. I don't care. I didn't care. All I need to know is, are you selfish or are you not selfish? Would you be able, in a long-term relationship, if I was to date you, will I become the person that I want to become? Because I don't do well with people that tell me that I cannot become the person that I want to become. I don't do well in those things. So when I date somebody I love, somebody who's caring, because I'm the same as well. So I need somebody that can complement my well-being and my character, my image, everything. So I didn't care that the guy is good looking. I made him sweat, because to me, I wasn't going for the looks. I was going for the man that I'm going to date for the rest of my life. Nobody knows the future. But at that moment, I had a mission that I needed to complete. And that mission, that what I needed to do, it was to select the right guys. So for those girls who get blinded by the good looks of guys, so when you go out and you select the guy, make sure you select the guy that you're going to connect with properly and physically, so that whenever you are faced with problems, you are able to work on the problems, and you are able, because every relationship it will acquire challenges. It will have its own challenges. There's no relationship that goes smooth without challenges. So you need to date somebody that you know when you are faced with challenges, you know what? This is my queen. I'll go all in, whatever it takes to go through the challenges. This is my king. Whatever it takes, we go through the challenges, we'll conquer every mountain that comes our way, because this is my queen. But if you are dating this selfish guy and selfish woman, or a man who is abusive, or a woman who is abusive, who does not respect you, the whole foundation of a relationship, it's not going to work. So we need to make sure that the foundation of our relationship works. And we then have to check our world. How is our world physically? How is our world physically? Our spouse, how is their world? And then it will be able to live a beautiful life. Because when you understand somebody, whenever you go through together something, you'll be able to help them, and they'll be able to help you through those challenges. That's what life is about. That's what a relationship is about. And that's what the physically intimacy and the physically attraction, it cannot be affected if you are actually connected. And also the techniques, you have to understand the technical things and the role of a personal growth and self-care that sustains attraction. Explore new experiences, share adventures, enhance connection with that person, make decisions. And when you're making decisions, make sure that you evaluate your pros and cons of staying in a relationship when physical attraction is diminished. If physical attraction is not there anymore, you got to check why that attraction is not there, because it might be the person, that it might be you, and you might take that problem and transfer it to another relationship. So consider your individual desires as individual, and also long-term goals, and recognize when it may be healthier to pathways, and with respect and understanding, just come to an understanding with each other in a relationship. And remember, everything is all within. When I say everything has a voice, everything has a voice. So everything that we do has a voice. So just make sure that you understand it. And also, what I'll leave with this is very, very important to actually understand your want and your desires in a relationship. If you are somebody who's worked really, really hard, and you want to select a woman, or you want to select a man in your life, make sure that you take all these long-term things into a consideration, and your world, it will design to help you find a woman of your dreams or a man of your dreams. Sometimes I get men, or you find that if you are a man, you still find that sending naked pictures, or you are a woman, that you still feel that showing your boobies or showing any part of your body, it will get you a man. That means there is still something that you need to work on. I can guarantee you being naked does not get you a man. It will get you the wrong guys, that your relationship will end in the same cycle. But what will get you a man is knowing what you want. Or what will get you a woman is knowing what you want, knowing where you need to be in life, knowing your dreams, your desires, everything. It's like you design your life. And then when you design you and meet the person that complemented that invention, when you invent yourself. So after finishing inventing yourself, you need something that is going to complement it, is going to keep it, the foundation, help to build that foundation. So those are the things that you need in life. You don't just need somebody or to say, I'm going to select a woman because she's got nice bums. What else can you tell me about your woman? A good man that knows what they want, she will tell you, Nomsa, this is what I need. Like the job that I love about being a matchmaker is when a man comes to me and says, "Nobs, this is the woman that I want." And they tell you the list of a woman that they want and why they are attracted to that person. They tell you their life story. And they're like, it will make me happy to meet this kind of a woman in my life that can complement the person that I am. And when they do meet that person, they create their life story, because life is a story and memories. It's all about stories and memories. That is so beautiful. So if you're single and you're looking for love, then go to my website and register. And if you're looking to find your own voice, find your own voice, lead from within, go to my website as well and register for inquiry for coaching. We have all coaches from all walks of life. If you want to be coached by me, it's your choice. You can be coached by me. I am a love harmonist. I deal with relationship, and I also deal with, I'm also a psychologist. So my coaching is mostly, we go to the foundation. I'm not somebody that will say, you know what, Nomsa, I'm looking for love. And when I find you that love, what are you going to do with it? I don't want you, when you come to me and say, I'm looking for love, and then later on you come back and say, I've divorced. Oh, the story is a long story. No, I don't want that. So when you come to me, we go straight to the foundation. Why are we single? We look at in the long term, what needs to be broken. Is there any habit that have become your identity? Is there any pattern within your parents, your ancestors, that have become a pattern where it's affecting you to find that special person? So if there is, we have to break it. We have to work on it to make sure that you don't come back. I need more customers, but I need you to refer people, but I don't want you to come back when I met you. So I look at those things. When somebody comes in and joining the agency, you fill out the application form. I don't coach women because women don't pay within my agency. I coach men. So when you pay, it means that as a man, it is my job to actually make sure I coach you. I don't work with these guys that know it all and they say, Nomsa, I'm good. If you say, Nomsa, I'm good, before I take your money, I need you to demonstrate to me that you're good. And by demonstrating to me is the woman that you take on a date, they will give me the feedback. So that's where I will know where you are emotionally. And just by, because I have to have feedback. If a woman says you're amazing and you're this, but they're not attracted to you, that's fine. That's understandable. But there are some people who have gone through challenges. And when they go on dates, they don't believe that they are actually capable of meeting those kind of people or entering a relationship. So we work on that confidence where you can go and be your own matchmaker. So you work on the confidence. And there are some clients that I don't take. There are some clients that I take. They actually good fit within the agency. But if you are not a good fit, I have other matchmakers, about 50 companies that we collaborate. So if I cannot help you, that means that there is somebody else that can help you. Then I'll refer you to that person, and then they'll be able to help you. So that's how I work. So live with grace, everyone, and God bless. And Remember, if you're looking for love or you just need coaching, you can go to the website and just get in touch. My office number is there and my mobile number is there. I think my mobile number is there. So, and my email address is there. So you can email me or just get in touch if you are looking for love. And if your physically attraction has died in a relationship, just work on yourself with your spouse. It's a teamwork without blaming each other. Just find ways, coaching, or if you are somebody who can work with things on your own, just find ways to work on yourself and get there. The journey might be very slow, but you get there. If there is a goal that you want to reach where you know you need to get there, but it has to be a partnership, no forcing somebody else to do what you want. Partnership is very, very important to understand somebody else's feelings, how they feel. So if they agree, go ahead and begin the journey of one thing that works is just doing exercises, going for walks every day, going running. I live in Henley. Henley is a very, very beautiful place to be with, to live in the area, because everyone here, they're doing something. If they're not cycling, they are walking. If they're not walking, they are running. If they are not running, they are canoeing. If they are, somebody's doing something. This is a place where you will find 80, 90-year-old, they're just going for a walk. They're just running. It's just, it motivates you. And the doctors as well, they encourage, like they will encourage you to do some sort of activity. So it's a very, very nice area to live, and your environment as well is very, very important. God bless everyone. And I see you tomorrow, and put Carol Ann in your prayers, please. God bless.